All right, how's everybody doing today?
Good, sir.
Great, awesome. You're probably thinking, man, I got to sit here and listen to some military dude come up here and tell me about stuff I just probably really don't want to hear, right? How many like that? Be honest. I remember sitting in your chair not too long ago. I know I look old, but not too long ago thinking the same thing. I got to listen to a military dude. That's the last thing I'm going to do. It's the last thing I'm going to do. I used to be the guy who ran out the back door when I saw a recruiter coming in the front at lunchtime when we could leave. I'm like, I'm out of here. And I never listened to a thing a recruiter ever had to say to me. And look at me now. I'm a recruiter. I'm your local Air Force representative. My name is Rodney McDaniel. I cover eastern Iowa. So all those high schools up the Mississippi River up to about Bellevue, I cover. So thank you for having me here today. Sometimes, how many people got a phone call from a recruiter already? They're senior. What did you think about that phone call?
Close to a telemarketer.
Close to a telemarketer, really? Was it an Air Force person, Army, Marines? What was it?
Army, sorry.
Army? That's good because I'm your Air Force representative, and I haven't called this high school yet. So you haven't had a chance to talk to me. And I'll be honest with you, recruiters, we need to get on the phone. We need to contact you because it's the fastest way we can do it. But I'd rather be right here looking at you face to face, giving you just a little information on what the Air Force can do for you because I hate the telephone. I only do it because my boss tells me I have to do it. You have to call these numbers. And your teacher has been gracious enough to let me come here today and speak to you face to face. And I'm not here to recruit you today. I'm not going to recruit you and say, hey, I need you to come in the Air Force. You need to come see me tomorrow. You got it? And we're going to set a time. Now, if I give you a little information to get your mind going about where you're sitting right now as a senior or junior in this class, then certainly I want you to call me, and we'll sit down and have a one-on-one appointment about what the Air Force might be able to do for you. Okay? I just want to give you some background about me when I was young and sitting in a chair like you. Then I want to talk a little bit about you. What kind of plans do you have for your future, and have you thought those things through? All right? How many have sat through a college counselor coming in their school already and said, listen to what they had to say, right? They're a recruiter just like I am. They get paid to get somebody to go to their school and spend their money. I'm not asking you to spend money to join the Air Force. I'm just asking you to listen to what I have to offer, and if you cannot use it, maybe someday down the road you're talking to one of your friends and they don't know exactly where they want to go and they can't afford to do something, you remember what the Air Force guy told you, and you can send them to me or send them to the person that replaces me in the future. Is that fair? And then I'll end it by asking if you have any questions. How's that sound? All right. So there's this kid. He grew up, I don't know, in Illinois, Kelowna, Illinois. Went to East Moline High School in East Moline, Illinois. Anybody know where that's at? Just across the river? Nah? Oh, that's because you're all Iowegians. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Okay. But in 1985, I'm a senior sitting in class just like you are, a couple months from graduation, not really knowing what I want to do. And like I said, every time the recruiter come in the front door, I went out the back. I had no inkling. Nobody in my family's ever been in the military, ever. My mom freaked out when I first said I wanted to join the Air Force, started crying. What are you getting into? So I know how all the parental emotions can go into play, especially being out here in Iowa where there's not an Air Force installation around. There's no base. You have no idea what the Air Force might be able to offer you. And that's why I'm here today, to give you a little sneak preview. It wasn't until 1986, a year after I graduated high school, that I chose to go in the Air Force. And the only reason I did was I had a bunch of old guys come to the restaurant where I used to flip burgers and cook steaks and stuff for them, and they used to, on break, I'd go out and stand there and have coffee or something, and they'd say, Rodney, what are you going to do with your life? Flipping burgers, I'm cruising the strip, I'm chasing ladies, I'm having fun, right? Hanging out with my friends. That's what I wanted to do. At that time, I ruled the world. That's what I wanted to do. But gradually, as they kept talking to me and kept influencing me, I was the recruiter's dream. So I walked in the front door and I said, I want to join the Air Force. And I think he fell out of his chair, wiped the drool off, and he had to get back up and sit down and go, what'd you just say? So, you know, there was no selling me. There was no telling me what the Air Force had to offer. I had all these older gentlemen influencing me and tell me what it could do for me. And I only had one stipulation. I wanted to do a certain thing in the Air Force. And then I found out you could do plenty of things in the Air Force. And when you're young, you really don't know what you want to do. Okay? So I came in 86 with the basic training. Then I became a cop in the Air Force. I went to training to be a cop. 13 years as a cop. I was a tech school instructor. It's the school you go learn your job skill in the Air Force. I did that for a while, and then I retrained because, remember I said you could change opportunities. I didn't like it. I wanted to try something new, so I retrained to education and training management. I did that for a whole year. And at the time, I was debating whether I wanted to be a recruiter and come back to where I grew up and share with you what the Air Force had to offer or try another career. And I chose another career, but after that year, I said, I want to go home and tell people what the Air Force did for me, because I used to run out the door. The least I could do is let you know what it has to offer, whether you choose it or not. So that's what I did. Went into recruiting, and now I've been in recruiting for 2.5 years, getting ready to move on. Somebody will take my place pretty soon. So let me ask you this. Enough about me. Now I want to know a little bit about you. Who in here, sitting here, who's seniors, first of all? You got seniors? How many juniors do we have? All right, always good to start early, because I bet there's some seniors sitting here today that are 60 days for graduation that don't quite know what they want to do. Who thinks they want to go to college? Raise them high. I want to see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 20 isn't bad, right? So what have you done? What have you done about going to college, young man?
Taking my SATs and ACTs.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Did you score? I won't put you on the spot. Did you score well?
Yes, sir.
You going to get into college with those scores?
Yes, sir.
Well, beautiful. We need smart folks like you in the Air Force too, but we won't get into that. What else have you done? Taken the tests?
I've gone to different schools to look at the campus itself, and I've done, just
What kind of schools? 4
mostly
year, 2?
universities, 4 years. I want to get a bachelor's degree.
Okay. So how have you sat down with the counselor and fill out any financial assistance or anything? How are you going to pay for that college?
Yeah, I've gotten some scholarships already, and just sit down with them and figure out the rest.
Figure out the rest. So you go to college for 4 years, you get financial assistance, and you have all those financial assistance bills stacking up. When do you have to start paying on those?
As soon as I graduate.
As soon as you graduate and you become employed, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So how much do you think that's going to cost you a month?
A month or altogether?
Give me a monthly payment. You're probably going to pay monthly installments, right? Unless you win the lottery.
Probably right around 100, 200.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. What was your name again?
Rob.
Rob. Come here, Rob. I'm going to assign you a marker, a colored marker up here on the board. Come on up here. You're going to be red. I want you to write Rob.
Okay.
Rob's plan. And then I want you to put AF right there. Put a line, underline each one of them. Who here thinks they're just going to go off and work? You just going to go work?
Yes, sir.
And what's your name?
Jennifer Beasley.
Jennifer. I'm Rodney. Come on up here. I'm going to assign you a blue marker. I want you to write your plan, and I want you to write AF and underline them both.
Okay.
Great. So college, university, work. How about anybody here think they want to go to a vocational, technical type school at all? And what's your name?
DJ Jenkins.
DJ, come on up here, man. Come on up. You'll be my next contestant. I guess he's going to be a black marker, isn't he? All right. So what do we have here again? We have school, right? College. We have work. And what do we have there? Vocational technical training, right? All right, so all I want to do right now is help you think about some things. All right? What's it going to take for me to be outside the Air Force and achieve the things I want to do? What are the benefits and things I can achieve on the inside of the Air Force as well? Just to help you get your minds thinking too, right? All I asked you was to listen and go out there and share with your friends someday if you need to, right? If you like what you hear, then we'll have a one-on-one appointment at my office. And I'll never let you leave. You ever heard of that? No, I'll let you leave anytime you want. All right, so education, Rob. Let's see. What did you tell me you had to get some financial aid, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why don't you write financial aid underneath Rob's plan? How much money do you think it's going to cost for a 4-year degree? It's probably going to take you 5 years to finish, depending on what it's in. What did you say you wanted your bachelor's degree in?
Business.
All right, so go ahead and write dash business underneath financial aid. And then in parentheses put 5, because that's probably a 5-year program. How much money do you think that's going to cost? You going to live in the dorm there?
Yes.
On campus?
Yes.
So how much money a year?
Right around 40 grand.
A year, right?
Yeah.
So 40 grand times 5 is how much? Putting you on the spot.
200.
200,000, right? So just go put 200K right next to it. Beautiful. Let's go to work. So when you go to work and you choose to do that, what kind of work are you looking at doing? Business. You're going to try to make money, right?
Yes, sir.
How much money is going to be sufficient to meet your monthly needs, do you think? How much a month after taxes?
2,000?
Okay, go ahead, write 2,000 up there. All right. DJ, you want to go to a tech school. What kind of tech school you think you're going to go into?
Anything to do with computer engineering?
Computer engine, ooh, that's definitely a 5-year program, right? So you look, but you want to go to a tech school for computer engineering? So you want to get the fast-paced version, at like ITT Tech, something like that. Okay. So how much do you think it's going to cost? You want to go for your associate or your bachelor's there? Because they have both of them now.
I'll just go for my associate.
All right, so how much a year do you think it's going to take you to go to Go ahead, write ITT on there. Put comp, eng. How much a year? ENG. Yeah, ENG is fine. There you go. How much a year?
For just 2 years, about 20 grand.
Okay, write 20,000 on the board. Sold. Maybe a little more, but that's all right. All right, back to you. So you're going to live in a dorm. You're going to go to school. Who knows how many classes you'll have a day, right? Depending on whether you skip or not, right? All that great stuff. So you're going to have a job part-time?
Yes.
Where do you think you're going to work going to school full-time?
Probably somewhere on campus, so I don't have to travel that far.
All right, so the bookstore or something?
Yeah.
Well, just write bookstore there then. How much do you think you're going to make an hour at the bookstore?
Not much over minimum wage, probably.
All right, so you're going to have a car there too?
Yep.
Would you like to have a car there?
Yes.
All right, man, so we'll go ahead and put a car down there. We want to have a car at school, man. We want to be cool. We want to be the ride, right? All right, so how much are you going to make at the bookstore an hour? $6.25, something like that? $6.75. They're going to tell you, no, you're not. You're going to make $6.25. I'm just kidding. And then your car, is that thing going to be paid for? Is mom and dad buying it? You going to have a payment on that?
Have a payment, probably.
How much do you think that's going to be?
100.
$100? Yeah, I got it. He wants to be cool, but he's going to drive that one with the stick your hand in the panel, like right underneath the rust spot, and you can grab the wheel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 100. It's your world. $100 a month. So insurance can't be more than 30. Let's say $30 a month for insurance. Right? Got shirts on there. Monthly gas. That got to be a gas hog if it's only $100 a month. So what do you say? $200 a month for gas? Yeah, because he's rolling. All you guys are going to want to get in his car and go downtown. I know. $200 a month. It's a gas hog. All right. Back to you. $2,000 a month? So you're going to live by yourself? You're going to live with mom and dad?
Probably with my mom and dad.
All right. So, that's cool. Living with mom and dad. So they're going to charge you any rent while you're living there?
Depends if I work. If I work, then no. If I don't, if I'm just a bum.
They're going to charge you if you don't work? Well, that's wrong. All right. I'd charge you if you work just because it's my basement or wherever you're going to stay. But that's okay. So you're going to have a car?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to get back and forth to work, right? What kind of car are you going to have?
I have a Honda.
You have a Honda?
Honda Civic.
So how much are those car payments?
Including insurance, it's probably about $300.
Okay.
Together.
Give me $300. Now, are you going to help mom and dad buy groceries that you're living there, or are you going to buy them on your own?
I'll buy myself my own groceries.
You will?
Yeah.
How much is that going to cost you, Mom?
Probably about $75, $100.
Okay. Just write it down. Gas, I need a little gas price there. You got a Honda, so it's probably more gas efficient,
Yeah, it's probably about $100.
right? Would you agree? A Honda's a little more gas efficient? It's a foreign car, so it's probably gas efficient. All right. So $100, huh? You don't live far from work. That's good. And any plans to take any kind of college at all, you think, or are you just working for now?
Yeah, some college after work.
So community college kind of thing?
Yeah.
So how much are going to cost you a semester to go there?
Let's see, how much? About 2 classes, that was $80.
Okay.
For 2 community college.
DJ, you need a car?
Yes, sir.
Go back and forth at ITT? All right, go ahead. Write me down a car. How much is it going to cost you a month for that?
$350.
Take's getting a little higher there. All right, $350. How much for gas, insurance?
Insurance, my insurance right now, sir, is really high.
All right. Oh, you're one of those heavy, you got a lead foot?
Yes,
Yeah? Well, then we better write down traffic citations, right? We better write down traffic citations on there. How much a month are you going to pay in traffic tickets? I'm just kidding. All right, so gas, how much in gas? What about rent? You going to live with mom and dad, or are you going to live on your own with some friends? What are you going to do?
I live with friends.
All right, how much is it going to cost you for your part? All right, sweet. Whew. Who's paying for college? How are you going to pay for that? You don't know yet?
Haven't got that far.
Just giving you some food for the Air Force. No, I'm just kidding. The Air Force can pay for it. All right. All right, go ahead. Thanks. Have a seat for now. Just want to talk to you about a couple things. I know I said Air Force, but I'm going to write it under one person's for the Air Force. How's that sound? I'm going to choose Rob's plan, and I'm going to write the Air Force part down. So, who in here thinks they know how much you would start making from the United States Air Force from your monthly pay? Just your base pay for doing your job. Take a good guess.
More than what you make not being here.
That's a good one. Hey, who did that for me? Who did that? DJ, right? DJ did. Jen, right?
Yes.
Jen? I thought, where's Rob? All right, cool. Thank you. More than what?
You make him not being there.
Here, who else can help him? More than if you weren't in.
About $13.50.
All right. I'm going to go low and say 1301 and some change. What do you think? That's about right. Just about right on. So just for coming in the Air Force, starting to do your job, no matter what you're doing, whatever job it is, it doesn't matter. You're going to come in making 1301. So we talked about some rent and having to pay mom or dad. Well, she said, I'm not going to pay mom and dad unless I'm not working, and I got to figure out how I'm going to pay them, right? What about Rob? Rob wants to live in the dorm. Overall, for 5 years, it's going to cost him $200,000 to live in a dorm and pay for his tuition and all those great things. And what about DJ? DJ just doesn't know, right? DJ hadn't sat down to figure it out yet. So, medical and dental insurance in the Air Force, what do you think? How much do you think it's going to cost you?
$100 a month.
Thousands.
100? It's free. Break a leg, chip a tooth, you're going to get fixed for free. Awesome, huh? Food. What do you do about food? Who has a big appetite? When I was your age, I ate everything in sight. Mom and Dad could not afford to feed me. So in the Air Force, how much money do you think we're going to give you for food a month? We got to feed you.
$30.
We got to be a warrior. You got to be strong.
$200.
200? Anybody else want to throw that in? 200? 300? 100? All right. There's that word again, free, right? You got to go to the aerospace dining facility on any base that we have. We have those. You're going to eat for free as a young person coming in the Air Force. All right.
I can eat till I get sick and y'all feed me for free?
Yeah. Then you can make yourself an emergency room appointment and just they'll go ahead and pump your stomach for you. Yes, they will. And guess how much that's going to cost?
No.
Nothing. It's free. That's a good one. That's cool. All right, so, man, what about college? Rob wants to go to college. DJ wants to do a tech training type of thing. So for college in the Air Force, how much do you think will pay of your tuition when you come in the Air Force? 50%?
I think 50.
Anybody work at a place that already pays 50%? 75%? Anything like that? No? All right. And TA's tuition, this says we're going to pay 100% of your tuition. Now, you'll have to find a way to pay for your books. Sorry. That's on you. But what we do have is a contributory program for your education. When you first come in the Air Force and you go to our orientation program, it's 6.5 weeks long. We call it basic training in the Air Force. When you go to that program, you're going to be asked one time, do you want to contribute to this program? And what this program is a pay-in program. $100 comes out of your paycheck every month for 12 months. How much I say? All right, so $100 for 12 months. How much is that? I'm not good at math. $1,200, right? That's easy. Guess how much it's going to be worth in 3 years? It sits there for 3 years and it turns into, how much money do you think that turned into? $1,200. $3,600? That's triple. That's pretty good. Anybody else want to guess? You're just like, come on, man, tell us. What is it, $39,000? $39,000. Not bad, huh? $1,200 investment for 1 year, going to turn into approximately $39,000. Each year it goes up a little bit. It may be a little over $39,000 now, but you understand what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of money for contributing very little. Rob, can you see that education getting a little closer by joining the Air Force maybe?
Yes, sir.
Whoo, probably can. What about tech training? We got to talk about DJ a little bit. He wants to go to ITT for computer engineering. I'm not promising you can come in the Air Force and be a computer engineer. It takes a little higher education to do those kinds of things. But what I can promise you is we have over 150 different skills in the Air Force, and you're going to take this practice test, or this test. We call it the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. What it does is it tests your aptitude to learn certain areas. And we kind of base that on where you would, learn and benefit the Air Force the most, because we're all part of a team. We all want to be part of that team. And we're going to let you know where you would benefit from the Air Force the most in the technical field. So in the Air Force, we do have tech training. How much is that tech training is going to cost you? It's going to cost you $0. I know you're all, wait a minute, you're going to take away 4 years of my life or 10 years or whatever it is. We're going to ask for a commitment from you for 4 years to join the Air Force, or 6. We have those 2 different terms. So that's the commitment we're going to ask for you, but you're going to come in the Air Force, go to our orientation program for 6.5 weeks called basic training. You're going to go learn a skill. You're going to go to tech school. You're going to learn a skill. And it's not going to cost you a dime. And that whole time, we're going to pay you this. We're going to pay for that and that. You're going to be earning your time to get your 100% tuition. You're going to be paying for the Montgomery